Pleased with what you saw today, Ryan?
You know, it was practice 6, and one of the things we've been talking a lot about is competing. So you heard it over and over again, and that's what we're trying to do, is the winner or loser. Whether it was the individual drills, team drills, 7-on-7, red zone pass, the goal line tackle early in practice. Something we really wanted. It went all the way down to the wire, 102 to 100. That's what we're trying to do. The guys were into it, and we'll look at the film and see about the execution, but I thought overall the effort was there and the competitive nature was there.
Who won the day offensively?
It was 102 to 100, the offense. Went all the way down to the wire. You know, even at the end there when we go tackle, we do take out some guys. You didn't see Marvin down there. You didn't see a couple of those guys. But it's the idea is the competition. And so I thought that was well done.
You feel like the offensive line is starting to take shape now?
I got to look to see. It's still, you know, our first 2 practices really don't count because they're not in pads. So when we came off of spring break, you know, we went Tuesday, Thursday, and this is Saturday. So it's really our 3rd day. You know, I thought the defensive line got some sacks early on and kind of got after them. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I think there's, you know, when you say the offensive line, you're talking about all 5. You know, I don't think we've quite found, all 5 just quite yet.
As soon as our first he wasn't here.
Right.
To be where he is, what's up?
There's been good progress there. I think you can see it. When you don't notice a center, that's a good thing. Again, still just, you know, early on, not even halfway through spring practice, but he's been a bright spot so far.
Who's one guy?
Losing those stripes today, what have you seen from him?
Competitiveness. Yeah, both of those guys have competed. They've shown up in practice right from the first play.
Ryan, you talked about you had some of the veteran skill guys out there at the end. Are you you got Carnell, Jelani, guys like that? Are you just trying to see how young guys respond in moments?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And trying to create somewhat of an atmosphere that is competitive. Because when you're in here and there's nobody inside and it's quiet, that's a whole different experience of being in the shoe on game day. Not that this is the shoe, but having so many people here today and you know, having the music loud and sort of chaotic is what we're trying to create, just to see how they respond in that moment and almost get them numb to it.
How crucial are the competitive periods in the quarterback evaluation, and is it sort of a results-independent evaluation happens there, or does what the team does in those periods sometimes as important as what the quarterback does?
Both. If you just looked at one drive, you know, you could come to a conclusion real easy, but over time, and I think that's why, you know, when we talk about these in the you know, in the meeting room there, and we talk about, you know, where the quarterback's at, it's hard to tell until you stack these days. And so, you know, we'll grade every single snap today. We'll see how everybody graded out. But at the end of the day, you know, we have to move the offense into the end zone. That's our job as a quarterback. However we do that, everybody has a different style. But that leadership, you know, means a lot. Now, one practice is one practice. Can you learn and grow from it? I learned just the other day that, quote, that, you know, the brain doesn't grow from success. It grows from failure. So, you know, there was a lot of failure on this field today. So who can grow from that and build? And we'll see. But I thought, you know, there's a lot of film to look at. The guys moving down the field, especially in the second half of the scrimmage. But, a lot of football left here this spring.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle McCord came alive there the last portion of this scrimmage. Do you agree? I mean, I'm not trying to get you to single him out, but
I thought he had some good plays.
Yeah.
I thought better in the second half.
Yeah.
Especially when we got that ball in the midfield early on. It was just okay, I think. But again, it's hard to tell. We've got to look at the film. But he certainly flashed there at the end, like you said. Had some energy about him. Had some leadership. And I think the whole offense was feeding off of that.
It's you and Jelani Thurman one-on-one. He's coming right at you. What do you do?
Duck.
one day sample size, but it looked like Kenyatta was in the backfield a lot. Are you guys seeing that from him more and more each day?
We're looking for that production. I thought he put in a great year last year. Put in a lot of work. He would go a lot against Paris, especially, you know, in practice. And they would sit down over on the bench for hours and just talk. And I know what Paris was doing. He was taking them under his wing to talk about, you know, different things with offensive, defensive line play, talking technique. And so now I think you're starting to see that come of age. He had a really good offseason. He put a lot of weight on. Now we're trying to see that production. It looked like he was in the backfield a lot. It's hard for the D-line. That's why I try to give him the benefit of the doubt with those sacks, because the quarterback's not live, because they can't really push the pocket. And Coach Johnson does a great job of that because we want to keep those guys off the quarterback. But they competed today and did a good job.
You love seeing that from your defensive ends, but also that's got to be a little concerning for the offensive tackles. How do you?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's like that all the time. You know, the minute you want to get excited about something, you turn on the other side and you're upset about it.
Was there a guy today that just flashed, though? I know you don't like to single guys out, Ryan, but did anybody catch your eye like, oh, got to keep this guy in mind?
Nobody just jumped out. I mean, I think there was some flashes, but we'll see. I really liked how the defensive line worked through the whole practice, though. I think Tyleek and Mike and all the guys up front, even late into the scrimmage, were right in there grinding, you know, and Mike got through right there on that one. I know the offense didn't like me calling it a sack, but he got through free and probably would have turned and made the tackle, but he kind of veered away from the quarterback. But I thought those guys grinded. I think we need to continue to see that out of the defensive line because, man, they can flash, but the name of the game is continually doing it over and over and over again and building that callus up.
You mentioned mistakes being made. It's easy to see it in the secondary, but what did you like for the way they responded in some routes they got beat? Come back and make a play.
I think they got their hands on some balls, especially in the third down period. I think we got beat on a double move right there, coming out on the 50-yard line. Overall, I think that the secondary has definitely challenged more of the throws, and so that's been encouraging.
Ryan, Jaden Ballard, we saw him make some, he's doing well for Pro Day, made a deep touchdown catch today. Just what kind of growth have you seen from him? Is he somebody who's ready to make an impact?
I think he has to, right? I mean, this is it for JB. He knows that. This is his time. Came in with some really talented guys, but he's talented too. You can see his speed, you can see his change of direction. Even at the workout the other day, he caught a lot of people's eyes. So he has the ability, and hopefully, if he continues to make plays like he did today, then he can start producing for us.
Are you starting to feel more comfortable moving around? You said that first practice, you were still getting used to it. How is that adjustment?
Yeah, every day a little easier. It's new to me, but. I like the way our coaches are coaching. I like the energy, so we got to keep building up.
You gonna get a tower and a bullhorn one of these days?
No.